It's okay to be Clark Kent sometimes, kind of bumbly, fumbly, but every now and then you gotta put on the cape and go save some lives. One of my mentors said that this morning on a mastermind call, and I've been thinking about it all day. So it was interesting. We were on this call this morning, and he was talking with one lady in our group who's struggling with sales. And she was really timid about asking people to buy her product and about promoting her product and stuff. After some discussion back and forth, he started talking to her about her product, which is a phenomenal product. It's a life-saving product, literally. The people that work through this program turn around their health, and it does save people's lives. And he was talking to her about that, and that's when that quote, that phrase came up. He said, he talked her through it and told her how the people that work with her have their lives transformed at a level that is just unbelievable. And to not sell people the product means that those people don't necessarily have an opportunity to transform their lives, which means that not selling the product is one of the most selfish things she could possibly do, because she's depriving people of potentially life-saving information. And it was interesting because I thought about that, and that's when he said that phrase, it's okay to be Clark Kent once in a while, kind of bumbling around, basically meaning it's okay to not really know what you're doing in your business. It's okay to kind of be trying to figure it out and not know which direction or what the right thing is to do. But then he said, sometimes you need to put on the cape and go save some lives. And it's so true, because sometimes it's uncomfortable to sell. It's uncomfortable to do things. Sometimes it's uncomfortable to do the thing you need to do that could save somebody else's life or your own life or whatever. But you need to do it anyway. And it got me thinking a lot about my own life over the last few months, especially earlier this spring when I was really going down a negative spiral. And I was heading down a very self-destructive path again, getting myself heading back in the direction of where I really didn't want my life to go. And for months I knew it was happening. You know, I could look at my life, I knew I was making the wrong food choices, I knew I wasn't socializing enough, I knew I wasn't getting enough accomplished in my businesses. I knew all of those pieces were not where I wanted them to be, and yet I had all kinds of excuses. It was too busy, I was too busy, or I didn't have time, or I had to focus on other things, or there's all this stuff, all these reasons I didn't want to start doing the things that I knew I had to do to get myself off that negative path, to get myself back on to the direction, or to get my life going back in the direction that I wanted it to, rather than down this self-destructive path it was heading down. When I look back, I mean, ultimately it all came back to the same thing, and this was the same problem this lady was having in our mastermind call this morning, was how I was uncomfortable. The things that I had to do, that I knew I had to do to get myself out of this negative state of mind, were uncomfortable things. You know, I had to stop eating the food that was making comforting my emotions. I had to start exercising. I had to start getting up in the morning early, even if I didn't feel like it. I had to start doing all these uncomfortable things. But ultimately, that got me back on a positive path. It got me off that negative spiral, and it got me back going in the direction I want. I won't say that it saved my life, but it certainly added more life to my time, and it made me feel better about the way things were going. So, like, sometimes your product or the thing you have to do won't change somebody else's life. You know, maybe it's your life that needs to change. Maybe there's something you've been thinking about that you need to do or stop doing or whatever, and it's uncomfortable. You know, maybe you hit some resistance about it, just like my friend did this morning. But think about your life, or maybe it is somebody else's life that'll be impacted by this uncomfortable thing you have to do. But think about life if they do it, or if you do it, and life if you don't. You know, I look back at how I was feeling this spring, and I mean, life if I didn't do the things I had to do to pull myself back out would be pretty miserable. You know, I look back 2 years ago, if I didn't do the uncomfortable things I had to do to pull myself out, I probably wouldn't be alive right now. So, it's okay to not know what you're doing. It's okay to not know what the next step is. It's okay to be kind of bumbling through life, but once in a while, you gotta step up. You know, once in a while, you gotta put on the cape and go save some lives, even if that life is just your own. You know, you have an important job to do in this world. Every single one of you does. You're a parent or somebody's child, or you have an important role in an organization, or some little bit of wisdom you're going to offer to somebody is going to completely transform their life someday. And you can't do that if you keep it all to yourself. None of that is possible if you don't do the uncomfortable thing once in a while and put yourself out there into the world. Put that cape on and go save some lives. Anyway, I was thinking about that, and it's just been bouncing around in my head today a lot, because it was really quite a profound moment. So I want you to consider that the next time you have an uncomfortable task you have to do, or something that's not really, it just doesn't quite feel right, but you know it's the thing that you need to do, and it's going to be the thing that makes a huge impact for somebody else. You got to do it. You know, you really do. Because if you don't do it now, you might not do it tomorrow, and if you don't do it tomorrow, you might not do it next week, and one day you might wake up, 20 years have gone by and you didn't do it. And your life might look dramatically different, or somebody else's life might look dramatically different. So anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for sticking with me. I'm so glad that you're here. I'll see you again very soon.